Hamilton.
Well, the Health Secretary is a kind of professional fire blanket for the failures of the health boards all over Wales, and Hywel Dda is no exception to that. Of course, Withybush isn't going to close in the immediate future, but the real question is it going to close in due course following a death by 1,000 cuts? What we've seen in recent times is the progressive diminution of health provision, particularly in Pembrokeshire. And there is no confidence, I think, in anybody that I've spoken to that Hywel Dda is really going to be responsive to the needs of local people. I did manage to get a meeting with the Chief Executive and the Chairman of Hywel Dda only last week. We had a general canter around the course. It's quite clear what the direction of travel here is, that they want to close general hospitals and have smaller community hubs. They're not going to be able to provide the range of services that are currently available. Of course, the health service has to change with the times, and Hywel Dda has particular historical problems to deal with. I'm not totally unsympathetic to the predicament in which they find themselves. But how can it be right to close smaller hospitals or close general hospitals and try to funnel everything into one central, bigger unit? We had, of course, not so long ago, fears that Bronglais was going to close at Aberystwyth. Now we're fearing that Withybush is going to close. Given the geography of the Hywel Dda Health Board, where population is sparse, you can't centralise things in one place. That's an impossibility. The other point that came out of my discussions with the Chairman and Chief Executive was they don't see the need for as many beds in hospitals. I heard you say a moment ago that the health service has changed, that more people are discharged from hospital earlier today than used to be the case, and that is certainly true. But bed occupancy rates are at record highs, 88%, whereas the safe level is 85%. So it cannot be right in those circumstances to be contemplating reducing the provision of hospital beds still further. Now, I appreciate you can't say today what the outcome of this review and consultation is going to be, and that there are legal restrictions on your ability to answer questions. But I can follow on from what Joyce Watson said a moment ago. It must be regarded as a ridiculous proposal to close Withybush, or have that even in contemplation in the medium term, let alone the short term. So the Health Board should, when it produces the list of options for people to discuss, avoid causing unnecessary alarm and consternation by producing extreme proposals which are not going to be followed through. But fundamentally what we are seeing here is the lack of democratic decision-taking in the health service. Health boards are not elected, community health councils are not elected. Everything ultimately is funnelled up to the Health Secretary in the Assembly. And yes, we can attempt to hold the Health Secretary to account in this chamber, but our capacity to do that is, of course, limited by the structure of the Assembly and the party system within it. People on the ground feel they have no real voice at all. And yes, ours is a voice, but is our voice being heard? And even if it's heard, is it going to be listened to?
Cabinet Secretary.
Just dealing with the point about beds and investment in health services. We notice the numbers of money that we invest in the health. We notice the numbers of staff that we have. We treat more people than ever before, more successfully than ever before. That includes in West Wales, just as with the rest of the country. Our challenge is how we organise our service to deliver the greatest value, both in terms of value for money, but also in terms of the value that we deliver in terms of the quality of care and outcome. And that really is going back to why we've had a review to see, are we on the right track? What more do we need to do? And I say you can't get away from the fact that there have to be difficult choices made. Otherwise, you'll come back to a further point in the future where the government will ask, why didn't you do something about a part of the service that really has gone wrong? And I would much rather be in a position where we're having a debate about how difficult choices are made than not. And look, I just reiterate, there is no proposal to close Withybush Hospital. There will be no proposals to consult on until the spring of this year, and that will be the Health Board that will be doing that. The Health Board need to have that conversation with their clinicians and with the public, and that is absolutely the right thing to do. And of course, the voice of the public will be an important factor. People will be listened to. But let's be clear, there are a range of different opinions about what could and should happen right across the Health Board area. You saw representatives in Carmarthen and Llanelli and Withybush and in other parts of the Health Board having very, very different views about what the future could look like. We need to have a process that is fair, that is appropriate and is meaningful, and then there will be a decision made, and of course that is a decision if the Health Board wish to make it could well end up being referred to me and then up on my desk, and I accept the responsibility that goes with that.
Thank you very much.